Welcome back, guys. We did our first analysis of. Wait, that was not the first analysis of February, was it? Yeah, it was. It was. Let me recap. We did the first analysis of February this Monday. All right. And today we're going to do the second one. As usual, we do analysis on Mondays and Wednesdays. All right. So today, let's jump right into Forex Factory and see what we have for today. All right. So today, you want to be looking into some other pairs. I think we should just narrow down to a few, all right, instead of many. Okay. So let us look into Forex Factory and see what we have. Okay. So today is Wednesday. Okay. By the way, we're using West African time. Okay. So right now, is two. This one is going to be for 2:15 p.m. All right. This is the non-farm employment change. Okay, they're looking at the employment change in the US. All right. Currently we have a previous number of 41K, and then the forecast is 46K. Now the effect of actual greater than the forecast is good. So basically, if you get a number that's bigger than 46K, is going to be positive for the dollar. If you get something less than 46K, it's going to be negative for the US dollar. And if it goes below 41K, there's going to be a huge impact on it. Okay, I mean, there's going to be a huge impact even if it's below 46K, but below 41K is going to be even worse, because it will mean that, okay, we're actually bad than we were last month. All right. We also have, okay, now this one's are for Thursday and Friday. Okay, we have the GBP and the Euro interest rates. All right, they're also going to have a bank conference there. They're going to do a little conference and talk about it, which is also going to impact the price. So around that 1 p.m. to, let's say, 3 p.m., we should be very, very, very worried about what's going on there. Okay, but that's going to be for Thursday. Then on Friday, we have the unemployment change for Canadian dollar for Canada. All right. And we have news on the USD by 4 p.m. The prevailing consumer sentiments and inflation expectations. All right. So yeah, that's what we have for the day. Okay, so by 2:15, we're going to be looking into this. By 4 p.m., we're going to be looking into services PMI. All right. So that's what we have for today. Now let's change a little bit. Okay, let's get to the charts. Okay. Let's see what we have here for today. All right. So starting off, let's just go to DXY. All right. If you watched my Monday live analysis, okay, you know why I'm targeting this FVG. Now, price has touched this FVG not once but twice. Okay, so this is basically the first time, which was just barely touched it, but this time around it entered inside here. What I'm expecting actually is to see if you can have a sweep inside this place now, inside this favor gap. For example, if you can get like a very nice sweep coming down here and going back up, that's going to be very, very, very optimal. Okay, possibly you can take one or two highs around here, come back, and then move up. Then that would be perfect. All right. So I'm actually still waiting for DXY to do this. All right. As you can see, we have been ranging downwards. Okay, so it's losing momentum. It's showing that, okay, the sellers are losing their momentum over here, and now it might be time to start buying. Okay, some people will actually be starting to, like, buy from here. Is okay. All right, so long as your stop loss around this area. But this is DXY. I cannot trade DXY, so instead what I do is I trade Euro USD, JPB USD, USD CHF, and USD JPY. Okay, I have some others here like EU and UC, but I don't really trade them like that. So let's observe the Euro. All right, it's EU rather. So EU basically is the same thing that's happening to DXY, it's just that it's in the opposite way. Okay, so this is the favorable gap that we have here. All right, and I would be expecting price to actually come up, but so far so good. I don't think we have that here. What we do have is that there's this favorable gap in this particular area here, and I feel like you're about to sweep it. All right, so if you go down to lower time frame, it looks as if you're about to sweep that particular fair value gap there. I think we can further refine it here in the 30 minutes, right? Yeah, we can. So we refine it a little bit, right? And we see here that we've already touched the fair value gap. Okay. Now we are creating a sweep inside it. Oh, this is tricky. So what you want to see now, once that we complete setup here, is that we need to see a close, a full body close below this particular candle here. All right. But then again, this is a bullish order flow. Okay. There's a mistake that I made on JPY yesterday while trying to sell. I'm going to show you guys what went wrong. So to be exact, this place here would have actually been the best place for price to cross. Why? Because of the structure. All right. If you look at the structure, this is what we have here. This one here is inner structure, right? Still inner structure, and then boom, we go above it with a full body close around here. All right. But now we still have this low here. So for us to have a very nice break of structure that's going to is going to push EU to the downside, I would like to see. My bad. Let me take a minute. I just finished eating. Okay, so breaking this low, coming back inside this range, all right, and then selling off from there. So that would have been the best expectation right now for EU. Okay, so until we can get that, I'm going to just stay on my lane. Otherwise, I'll wait for price to get into this fair value gap here at the 50%, and I'll sell it off from there. I already have a trade, but it's not here. It's actually on EU because sorry, on GU, because on GU I have somewhat the same expectations there. Okay, it's just that I was able to find something as of Monday. I think I was talking about this here being a new dealing range, right? So we created a new dealing range, and we came back down again, creating an endorsement here, which has already been taken. So now price is just looking for a SPOI. Okay. I would say that this candle here is a nice place to sell from. All right. But then on the 2 hour time frame, we now saw here that this whole thing was actually another block. Let me clean this up and show you guys. This sweep here is actually still valid, right? And this guy here becomes the other block, right? So we have this as another block. So if you want to, you can actually sell from here, right? On the 1 hour time frame, it begins to the image becomes clearer, right? The image is becoming clearer now. So this here is still another block. The last two up close candles before the break of structure, right? Let me not go and say what my mouth cannot handle, right? So break of structure here, another break of structure around here. Okay. A lot of people fell into the trap of actually selling from around here yesterday. I was actually observing it on X yesterday. Plenty of people actually sold, and they got taken out at some points. So yeah, price actually abandoned this area. Okay, and we still have some POIs left here. Number one is that we have this other block. Okay, and number two, we have an inverse fair value gap just here. All right. So this inverse fair value gap is basically the same with this one around here. Okay, so basically one fair value gap here, one fair value gap here. But then the two of them basically got invalidated, right? Although right now this is going to be an inverse fair value gap. So I'll be working with this. Okay. And because of the range which is thin, I want to sell it off from the very beginning of the fair value gap, okay, of the inverse fair value gap. So my sell is actually going to be around here. My stops here, okay, at the SIP level. And where I'm going to take profits is going to be at this high around here, okay. I'm going to take my profits around here, okay, because to me that's the place of invalidation. All right, that's where I would say, okay, I have had enough. So this is going to be a 1:5.8. Okay, basically a 1:6 if you elongate it a little bit. Let's say if you take it just a little bit further, you can get a 1:6. All right. But yeah, 1:5.8 is not bad. Okay, so order block, this one is definitely going to enter. Inverse value gap, this one is a more refined entry. Okay, so it might be that it will enter, it might be that it will not enter. So you have to we have to calm down here and observe this one. All right. So yeah, I'm waiting for this to play out. Okay. Uh, inverse value gap here. I'm actually entering from this inverse value gap. I want to see price getting there and then selling off. All right. Let's look into USDCHF. Okay, since it's basically the same thing with DXY is worth looking into. So far so good. We have been bullish around here. Okay, and I'm expecting price to still get around this area here. So yesterday was Tuesday and we closed bearish, although on Monday we closed bullish, but then we closed back inside the range. Okay, on the daily time frame, we do have a little fair value gap. I think I forgot to observe the daily time frame on the on EU and DXY. But it should be the same thing. It should be the same thing as this one. So we have this here as a FVG on the daily. We actually have another one around here. But I think I'll be working with this one first. Now, if you're looking further, I would say that that fair value gap was not mitigated, but from what we see here, we can see here that this was actually mitigated around here before fair value gap. So this actually leaves me in a little bit of a state of confusion right now, because if you're actually supposed to go lower, I don't think you'll be going too low like that. Let's check the 12-hour time frame. Fair value gap is still there, but price has been ranging non-stop. Okay. This makes it tricky, but hey, guess what? We have a sweep around here. Okay, and also we do have a very nice I would call this another block. Yes, I would, because I mean we have a little fair value gap around here, reconstruction, all of that. So I think this could work out. This could definitely work out. So other block on the 2-hour time frame, plus what we would have here is endorsement liquidity. And if this is the case, then remember that the fair value gap, daily fair value gap is around this area. So yeah, we could touch that place and just go up from there. So what I would love to see from here is just a sweep of this low, touching this other block, and price moving back up. Okay, and since we are ranging inside this area here, we could expect a little AMD model around this area. Okay, so yeah, and for that I'll be taking my profit at that top over there. So we're going to take it up from here. All right, this is going to be our trade idea, and then we're going to take profit around here, which gives us a 1:7. Okay, so a 1:7 is not bad. I think I like those odds quite a lot. We have some lows around here. We erected to that area again, so yeah, there's definitely something like a key level around this area. So I think I can take a trade from there, and I'll wait for price to just do its thing. So I'm still bullish on USDCHF. I'm bullish on DXY. Okay, I'm bearish on GU and EU. It's just that the entry on EU is not looking so clean as I'm seeing it on GU. Okay, coming up here once again. Let me delete all this. Okay, I don't think it matters anymore. So no, you know what? Let me just go to GJ straight up. Okay, so on GJ, I left this here because I wanted to show you guys what I did wrong yesterday. I think I should have I think I posted this trade on X. All right, I think I posted this trade on X. I was saying that I've been waiting for this sell throughout, like since I think last week. All right. I saw a fair value gap around here. I saw a sweep and everything, so I was actually deceived because it did not play out. Okay, so I feel like what I did wrong here was that I used internal structure. All right, I want to correct myself in front of everyone. So I used the internal structure instead of using the outer structure. We did not have a full body close below here. Instead, we had a sweep. Okay, we had a sweep here, and then a new sweep occurred around here. So basically, the new one invalidated the former one. Okay. So yeah, that's basically what happened there. And in the end, I got cooked trying to sell. Okay. So that was what happened. I got carried away because I saw a break of structure and I wanted to believe that JPY was supposed to, dump so much. So this is the new plan right now. Okay, we're looking into buys at this point. So price has already touched the high. Okay, so it has already touched its targets on the daily time frame. Now on the 4 hours, what can we see on the 4 hours? We still have a lot more price action playing out there. Okay, and on the 4 hours, we also have this, which is a break. It's a liquidity sweep, right? We have a break of structure, which is very impulsive, by the way. As you can see here, price keeps on pushing up non-stop. So this is a POS. We do get a little bit of endorsements here. Okay, we don't see price coming back inside this area after the break of structure. So basically, we have endorsement there for sure. And this is going to be our POI. All right, you can use this guy or you can use this one here. Whichever one doesn't really matter. We even have the presence of a little fair value gap here. Okay, so personally, I would go along with this one because this one is inside the range and it's inside the same time frame. So it's not like it's a refinement. I refine my trades by going lower into time frames, not by choosing POIs inside POIs. So this one's going to make sure that I am inside the trade. Okay. So whenever price is coming back again, I'll be waiting for price to come back to this level. All right, and go up from there. Okay. So this is my expectation for GJ currently. So this is actually a trade idea, a trade setup rather. You just have to wait and see it playing out. So it's whatever high that we form over there. So that'll be my target. Okay. Then okay. Let's check it out. Let's check card JPY. Okay. I'm not really a big fan of this pair because I haven't really traded it, but something has been telling me that I should just look into it. So now I want to look into it. So we broke structure here, came back inside the range. Broke structure here. We have not actually come back inside the range. So this one's our new dealing range. At some point, price swept, came back inside another block and pushed up, right? So I think it's basically the same idea with JPB JPY. Okay, this last sell candle here is going to serve as a support as another block, all right? And I do believe that we do have some key levels surrounding that area, don't we? Not really, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, the main key level is around this area. It should be around here. Okay. But anyways, I'll still get back to that. Okay, whenever price comes back, if it comes back, by the way. GPY pairs have been kind of crazy lately, so I think I might just skip that. Okay, I think I'll just skip it. So yeah, it's basically the same thing as a GJ. All right. NZDJPY. I was actually observing this pair late last night, and I noticed that it's forming a channel over there. Okay, so basically it's trending or trading inside this channel here. So it hits the high, hits the low, and keeps on trading in between there. So at some points, of course, you're going to see a break, either from the upside or the downside. But whenever we see that break, which I actually expect it to be the downside, we're going to see a massive sell-off, possibly taking out the whole range here, this upward range. Okay, so until that happens, I'm going to just day my day. JPB AUD, what do we get there? I told you guys, I think it was on Monday, that I missed the trade just by a few pips. Okay. I don't think you actually have anything on this pair currently, so I'm just going to clean this up. There is nothing here. If you guys have any recommendations, anything that you want me to look into, please drop it in the comments. So that I can quickly look at it while I'm looking into Bitcoin. All right. And yeah, this was my second mistake of yesterday. All right. So here's the deal. Yeah, I was actually expecting Bitcoin to pump up. Actually, I won't say that this is a mistake. I'll just say that it's just no, it's a mistake. Actually, sorry, it's a mistake. I don't know, can't remember. I don't know if it's from the communities that they dropped, but I know that I dropped some sell buyers, some sell trades. I think it was on this Sunday and Saturday, and my major aim was actually to come down here to this 74. This was 74 400, right? So yeah, I forgot that that was actually the major target there. Okay, so before I could actually buy, we need to touch the targets first. Okay, it doesn't happen without touching the targets. So that was actually the mess up that I did yesterday. So yeah, that was my fault. I take full responsibility because I'm a trader and that's what we do. So I lost two trades yesterday, and then let me show you guys the last one from yesterday. This one here. This was Nasdaq. Okay. Those of us in my community, we did a live analysis together. I told you guys that we had a bullish pennant here. This is actually a chart pattern. So once we saw the breakout, price was going to dump. Okay, and I was expected to see price coming all the way to this high around here. Okay, because of this is the most likely place for us to see price to whatever the TP was. I don't remember. I don't care. But then I started selling. I started selling around here. Okay, I started selling around here. Why was I selling around there? Number one, let me show you how I got that entry. Number one, we had the break of structure. All right. So in the whole trend line stuff, whenever I see a break of structure from that trend line, it means that price is going to come back and retest it, right? This candle here was the one that broke out. This is the breakout candle, and this is the confirmation candle for a trend line. Okay. So basically, whenever you're trending breakout, you have two important candles. The first one is the breakout candle. The second one is the confirmation candle. This was the confirmation candle. All right, confirming that the sell is valid. This one now is the one that came to retest the trend line, and the retest was actually successful. So what happened next? I entered inside this candle around here. So my entry was actually somewhere around here as of yesterday. My stop loss was around this high. Okay, and I saw that there was like a key level around here now. So I was like, okay, price must just come back there and then start dumping, right? So I placed the key level. I saw that price eventually came back up again, tested that key level, and started going down. At some point, I was like, okay, cool. We're going to start pumping. We're going to start going down from there. Came down, came down, came down. Around afternoon time, as you can see, it was around 1 p.m. Price started racing back towards my entry. Okay. Now let me show you why I closed this trade. Why I did the stupidest thing of closing my trade. This candle here actually gave me a little bit of a scare. All right, because number one, we had a candle that price reacted to. Number two, we had a sweep. Okay, and number three, price closed above this high. These are criteria that I would use to frame a buy setup. All right. So yeah, I closed the trade because of that, and I accept the responsibility of that. I know that it was a dumb thing to do. Okay, even though I gave out the signal, and I believe a lot of people in my community actually benefited from that. Okay, I hope they did. And if you held, I swear I'm actually happy for you. All right, so I did that stupid thing of not holding my trade. Okay, I closed out on break even. So yeah, that's what happened there. So I ended up missing a big opportunity because I could have locked at least 5% in my prop account, securing my phase two, which means that as of today, the only thing that I will need to look out for is just one more trading day. So now I've extended everything by 2 days. Okay. So yeah, do not chicken out on your trades like I did. I know that I've been analyzing with you guys for a long time. I know I drop my content here on YouTube and all of that, but I am not a perfect trader. Anybody selling you the dream or the idea of being perfect is a liar. Even the big idols that we used to see everywhere, they're not perfect. Everybody has flaws, everybody has mistakes. Okay, everybody does mistakes from time to time. So it's quite normal. We are human beings, we are liable to do that. So whenever you make a mistake, try not to beat yourself up too much. Just accept that you're a human being, it happens, and just know that the market is always going to reward you with another opportunity. Okay. So yeah, I believe that this trade got me a little bit pissed off yesterday, and I think that GJ I traded with some emotions. The Bitcoin, I was fine with that because it's something that I was already accounting for. Okay. But the GJ, I believe that the GJ was the one that messed me up even more. So after that loss, I just went to sleep. But yeah, let's analyze what we have on SP 500 and Nasdaq. Okay, let's start with SP 500. SP 500 was actually the instigator for the whole move as of yesterday, and I did not catch that. Okay, I if you guys remember on Monday, I think I was saying something about this. Okay, I was saying that price was supposed to come back to this level, and it did. It really did. Okay, it actually came back to this refined order block around here. For you to see the precision of indices, I love indices. So there was a whole setup. I saw this after the move had already played out, by the way. Which could have given 14R. Okay, so it's one of the reasons why I have SP 500 and Nasdaq together. They give an amazing risk to reward ratio. All right. So currently, I'm going to be expecting some buys. Okay, so let's take out from the daily. Let's look at what we have there. This is the daily time frame. We have here a sweep. Okay, we don't have any other sweep around here. This candle here, I don't know why it came back inside the range of this one. It's not a good sign, but we'll move along with that. So now, this is your liquidity sweep. This here is your break of structure. All right, a nice break around here, and this here is going to be your order block. All right, so this is your order block. So now we aim for the highs, okay, which is going to be this draw on liquidity right here. Okay, so now we can aim for the highs fully. We don't have anything holding us back again, except if price decides, okay, you're not going to go up again. Okay, so now we have to dissect what we have around here and see if you can get an entry. So if you further refine this, remember I just went down one time frame, right? We can now refine it. We now have an inverse Beverly gap here. Okay, and remember what I said that was on Monday. I'm very sure it was on Monday that I said that we had two one inverse Beverly gap and a fair value gap there. So what you're going to do is that you're going to get the range in between the two of them, which should be this here. And you're going to use that to frame your setup. Okay. So this here is now the refined POI. Okay, the refined FVG, if you can call it that. So we have this. We're still waiting for price to. I mean, we have waited. Price has already triggered it and touched it and all of that. So otherwise, you can just use the fair value gap. It's no big deal. Okay. So this is the fair value gap here. Price came back down. Let's check the 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, we can further refine it. Okay, this whole thing was a POI. Remember that. So this is the 1 hour order block right here. Price came back, tested it. This is our order block on the 1 hour time frame. So I don't think we can go below that, except that we came below that. We actually use the fair value gap, which is here. So now SP 500 has just been using POI after POI in every single time frame. So whichever time frame you enter from, your POI is going to trigger. I love indices. They are one of the easiest things for you to trade once you get to master it very well. Go down to another lower time frame again. You see here that this was a breaker. You could have used the breaker, you could have used the fair value gap, you could have used the other block, whichever one you prefer. 15 minutes time frame, you have this whole series of down close candles, and then the last down close candle before the break of structure, right? That would have been your other block. You can actually start from here. All right. So you see there that you have a very nice and clean entry. So you now get it from the 1 hour, from the 4 hours to the 1 hour to the 2 hours, all the way to the 15 minutes other block, which is this one here. Okay. And now what we have, we can now observe what is inside here. Okay. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back a few time frames. What do we get? We have inverse level gap, but this one has already been discarded. Okay. We have another one around here, but what I'm going to work with is this one here. All right, I want to work out this fair value gap that we have here. Seeing this candle here, this low and this low here of these two candles, I believe that this could be some equal lows. We will see that if you go lower. All right, let's check it out. Okay, we're beginning to get the picture there. Okay, so we have the sort of equal lows. Let's just say that we have endorsements around that area. Okay, so I believe that price has to come back down before pumping again. I want to see if we broke any structure once again, and we did. As you can see, price came back down, came back up, so there's a break of structure around here. Okay, so this actually forms one of my buying models. The buying model is basically something like this. Whenever you have a very big move to the downside, there's one thing that you're always going to see, which is something like this, and then a break of structure. From that break of structure, you know that there's a POI that's going to be around there. Price is going to come back into it and then start going up again. At least to the 50% of the range of that impulsive move. And it's always when it's a very big candle. All right. So as of now, what we're looking at is this here. It's not like it's not like a refinement, but like this whole thing is a fair value gap on 30 minutes. Okay. We go down again to the 15 minutes time frame. Oh yes, here we go. Here we go. So now look at this. This here is the break structure, right? We have this and this as fair value gaps. You can use your IFBG tool to see that. So they make up one fair value gap as a whole. Okay. And remember that I was talking about equal lows. Look at it here. They appeared on the 15 minutes time frame. Now, I'm not a magician, it's just experience. Okay. So whenever you clear these equal lows, I'm very sure that we're going to start going up from there. And we have a POI below that. Okay. So I have all the criteria for me to actually take this trade. Furthermore, we have price coming around here. So I feel like in the lower time frames, you're going to see a sweep around here. Let's check that out. Somehow, somewhat, there was a sweep around there. So now, what could happen? Okay, I'm already okay refining to the 15 minutes time frame. I've been trading from this fair value gap. My stop loss is going to be at this low. Okay, so this is going to be my trade idea here. Stop loss here. All right, give me 26 points. And my TP is going to be here. Give me a 1:4. Okay, if you want to refine it even further, which I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I like this candle here. This candle could be an order block, but then the danger inside here is that this candle has already been used before. Okay, it has already been used. Look at this. This here closed above these guys here, so basically it engulfed it, right? The next candle that came down, it came down, touched it, and started going up. So this candle has already been used. So I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to use only the 15-minute time frame and place this trade. All right, I think we already have more than enough here. So as you can see, my Monday prophecy has come to pass. So yeah, let me set an alert on the let me set an alert here on the what's it called, on the endorsements. Okay, and I want to know when this trade is going to trigger. Okay, I'm going to take this one on Nasdaq. Nasdaq is a bit trickier than that because Nasdaq moves a lot faster than SP 500. Okay, so daily time frame, we dissect price every single time we look into it. Once again, we still have that sweep, very valid. Okay, price is still respecting it. So far, so good. Still respecting it unless we end up closing below it. Then we have respected the whole stuff there. Okay. We don't actually see that sweep over there, but what we do see is that we still have this ping bar around here. Okay, ping bar is still a candle that shows that there's some rejection, around that area. And guess what? We do have this liquidity sweep. Where is that stuff? Okay, liquidity sweep. Price came back down, although it has already triggered from this place, which is why I bought on Monday. Okay, I believe that we might be retesting that POI once again. And check this out, we don't even get close to the fair value gap here. It was actually this fair value gap that I was expecting to send price down, but that did not happen, sadly. So currently, what do we have? Let me shift this to this area. I want to see what is going on inside here. So yeah, if you want to actually go up, okay, I would expect Nasdaq to actually respect this level gap here. I need to see this level gap being respected. Okay, so basically a sweep inside the Beverly Gap is going to be amazing. It's going to be exceptional. Go down to the 30 minutes time frame, bring it out a little bit more. You see that we have a break of structure around here, internal structure rather. But that could be the start of something. And the sweep had already played out fine and good. Okay, we had equal lows around here, which were also respected, by the way. The 50% of the 30 minutes candle was also respected, but that does not mean that we can take a trade just yet. Okay, we also had a nice, a better break of structure around here, but then we had some momentum exhaustion around this area, so I don't know about that. Break of structure there. 15 minutes level gap is still being respected. Okay, but then again, remember that other block that I told you guys that we're no longer valid on the S&P 500. Look at this guy over here. Does it sound familiar? Does it look familiar? Yeah, that's it there. Okay, they are basically the same thing. They are very much alike. So, since SP 500 is slower than Nasdaq, Nasdaq is ahead of SP 500. There could be a chance that we'll see price coming down here, touching this guy, and then going up. Okay, so I wouldn't um erase that idea. Okay, because it could be very much valid to actually buy from here. All right, could be very much valid to buy from there. So if price actually gets to go down to this point, then I believe that definitely we see price coming down to this fair value gap around here. All right. Whenever you have two assets that actually move alike, but then one is faster than the other, the one that's faster, we usually go to an order block, and the one that's slower, we usually go to a fair value gap. It's something that I've noticed. Okay. By the way, I'm going to make a video on other blocks. I'll be dropping that video soon. And aside that, I also want to drop two more videos on the topics of psychological analysis or traders' mindsets. Okay. If you're still watching this video, please do not forget to drop a like, and tell me about your favorite pair in the comments. I would love to know. All right. Okay, so I'm checking the comments. We say we have here looking to US 30 and GER 30. I think that's GER 40 rather. But yeah, Germany 40. We also have Bitcoin. Okay, let's check that out. So yeah, I believe that we could see price get into this other block here before moving up. Okay. It's going to be a risky trade if you're willing to take the risk. No wahala. So it's going to be around here. Okay. This is the trade now. This is a low probability trade because normally I like to use sweeps. Sweeps is my way of confirming that okay, we are going to go in that particular direction. So this would give us a 1:8, although we're aiming for the highs. Okay, so that's going to be like a secondary target. Okay, the first one should be here. All right, this is our DL giving us a 1:12 altogether. Okay, so but it's not the major thing right there. Okay, so I would expect something like this to happen on Nasdaq. Okay, although Nasdaq is still showing a lot of momentum around here. So I would exercise caution in this trade. I'll risk little in it. All right, I want to see when price is coming around this area, so I'll have an alert there. Okay, it's coming down, so I'll favor gap. Okay, good and fine. Whatever happens should happen. Okay, we're keeping a good mindset regardless. So Bitcoin, yeah. Let's look into Bitcoin. Daily time frame. So let's look into Bitcoin. Okay. On the daily time frame, what we did here is that we the just swept a low. All right. I think this was April's low as of last year. So we swept that low, and what could happen next is that price could actually see some retracements. Okay. So it's going to depend on today's candle actually. If you can actually get that retracement, I'll be waiting for price to come around here. All right. So you could go back to 6K before dropping further. I don't believe that Bitcoin is I don't believe that Bitcoin is bullish anymore. I believe that we have entered the BS season. So long as we are below this candle here, we are inside the bearish phase, okay, in the market. Now, something that could happen is that we could sweep this guy, have a change in structure around here, and continue going up, which is also possible, by the way. But so far, so good. We don't have any indications for that. So it's just sales. Okay, sales is the only thing that we are seeing here. So yeah, we use this favorable gap here, push price down, break a structure, came back again, but still came down again. So this here is going to be our dealing range. Price would likely come to this favorable gap before selling off. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to buy yesterday. I wanted to have a sell to buy, sorry, a buy to sell. My bad. So this is the favorable gap on the daily time frame. We can further refine it on 4 hours, giving us this. We even get some endorsements alongside it. Okay, so yeah, um this is the whole setup here. So let's see what happens next. Okay, if you can actually get something like this, breaking this high, coming back down, going up, then I could be looking into some other buys. Okay, because we just took out a major low, and now we're having like what, a liquidity sweep and a possible reversal. So we have to watch out for that. Okay. So we don't have any setup on Bitcoin right now, but I could expect sells from here or buys from around here, depending on what price shows us. Whatever opportunity we are given, we're going to use it to the maximum. Okay. If eventually price comes around here, we have to wait for a confirmation setup. Okay. Otherwise, you might get cooked on the buys. If this is still actually buying, then I could buy to around this area. I don't know, but it could buy even further past this FVG. Okay. So that's why we have to actually wait for a confirmation setup once price goes there. For ETH is basically giving me the same thing. All right, sweep here. I think that should be in the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, we have a sweep, but we don't have any buys yet. Any buyers just yet. Did we sweep this low? We did not. So this is now equal lows around here. Then lastly, let's look into GER 40. Germany 40. Okay, so daily time frame, what do we have there? We have a sweep, and now we have another sweep, which is confusing, by the way. We have another sweep around here. This thing is just sweeping up and down. Like, what is the matter exactly? Like, choose your spot, man. So, but I believe that we have the same idea that we had on other ones, okay? Because we have a major low that was swept around here. Equal lows, by the way. So this here is actually equal lows. Uh, Swept. We have another liquidity sweep around here, right? We have a breakout structure around here. This is breakout structure. We do have 3 down close candles, which means that we have another block in this area here. What else? Do we have endorsements? We don't have endorsement liquidity. Switch down to 2 hours time frame, 1 hour. Okay, we can now refine our other block to this guy here. There's also an inverse Fibonacci gap around here, which tallies with a Fibonacci gap here. So instead of using the other block, I would rather use the inverse Fibonacci gap. Ships are still valid. Breaker structure on the higher time frame, sorry, on the lower time frame, although we don't see it on the higher time frame. But these sweeps are still valid all over. So I believe that could play out, okay, which means that you could be expecting price to come back down to this area and pump from there. Okay. Alongside that, I believe that this high or this candle here was actually used as another block just now. So if that's the case, and we have this breaker structure, this here is going to become your breaker, okay, your breaker block. So we have other block here, and we have a breaker block just here. All right, so this is our breaker. We would want to see a short position from here and keep our stop loss around here. And where are we targeting? This is not a bad place to take profits. We have a key level around here. It's not bad. I want to target just before my POI, okay, just in case price decides to reverse. So that will give us a 1 to 5.8. Not bad, not bad at all. So I think I would go with this. As you can see, price was just going up and then massive sell off around here. So yeah, we even have a liquidity sweep around this side. So not bad at all. This is a flip zone. So where is it? This is going to be our breaker. This series of down close candles around here. We had a sweep, we had a breaker structure. This was the perfect favor gap for making price keep on pumping, but it didn't. So yeah, this is going to become a breaker block there. So this is what I'm expecting on Jerry 40. Alright, a sell to buy. Price seems to have started retracing. Then lastly, we have US 30. I don't usually trade US 30 like that. Okay, I don't know, US 30 has been giving me some headache lately. Look at this range. There's no way for us to like decipher this range. But there's a liquidity sweep around here. There's a bullish price action around here. So let's expect some bullish momentum. That's the best thing that we can expect right now from US 30. Sweep here, price did not come back again to the this thing only swept around here and then started going up. This whole thing is a range. So it's going to be very tricky for me to actually trade in these conditions. Sweep around here, uh change instead of delivery, came back down, touched it, went up, it's coming back down again. This is tricky. Very tricky. I don't actually have much of a bias, but I would say that we are bullish on this one as well. We have been bullish in other pairs, in other indices, so I just don't have a POI for this one. Okay. So yeah, that's what I have for today. All right. I think I've analyzed everything that you guys asked me to. So I think I'll be stopping here for the day. Okay, this is 10:43, 53 rather, and we have done a lot of analysis there. Okay, so let us look into things once again. Let's look into what we have done so far. I do not know what is happening to my internet because I know I'm still connected. Nothing is wrong with it. Ah, trading view. Why are you forsaking me? What's happening? Is it bugging or what? Wait. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit. That's crazy. Just before the other block. Anyways, let me just show you guys all the setups that we have. We have GU, we have the other block, we have the inverse value gap, whichever one you prefer to use, it is there. All right. On USDCHF, we have another block. I believe it's on the 2 hours time frame. Yeah, on the 2 hours time frame, we have another block there. On GJ, we have another block on the 4 hours time frame. Okay, with the liquidity sweep around here. On SP500, we do have a nice fair value gap waiting to be used. And before I continue, please, if you're still watching this video, subscribe and drop a like. Thank you very much. This is a fair value gap from the 30 minutes time frame, if I'm not mistaken, 15 minutes rather. Yeah, 15 minutes. Let me just put an annotation here just to make sure that, yeah. Nasdaq, we have another block on that same 15 minutes time frame. JER 40, we have a breaker block coming to be used. Okay, this should be from the 1 hour, yeah, from the 1 hour time frame. All right, so that's expectations there right now. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm done with my live analysis for today, and I'll be seeing you guys again on Monday morning. Okay, same time, 10 a.m. West African time. All right. So I wish you guys a profitable rest of the week.